Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to stand here because normally in that conference, the stand here speaker normally not Chinese. Normally that Chinese only as the audience, even not many. So today I'm curious that many young Chinese students sit down here. That not popular. Normally that the Chinese more care about that the business, that how to get money, finance. And so I'm very happy some Chinese student sitting here. And before my speech, I want to simply introduce something about my company. That's my company founded in 1984. Our main lines of business are residential home development and after-sale property. That we became the largest real estate developer in China in 1997, and the largest in the world in 2008. Last year, we sold 210,000 home units and made a total revenue of $35 billion. That simply introduce my company. And for my speech, give 3 stories. That first, that from Kilimanjaro to green. And the third, that from Copenhagen to Paris. Third, that from the Masdar to the future. As you know, the Masdar, that tower that in Abu Dhabi. That first story. The scale of our business came as the result of Chinese traditional growth model, putting intensive demand on energy and consumers. As the world's second largest economy, China already consumes half of the world's concrete and 2/3 of steel. The construction of buildings in China cities put more CO2 into the air than Russia or India as the whole country, only that construction industry. This model of development will put a devastating impact on the environment if China continues to grow at the current rate. That means China urgently needs to switch its developed model. My sense of urgency about the environment did not share from my company's business, but my personal experience as the outdoor adventure. I submit Everest twice. First in 2003, and second that in 2010. I climbed the 7 summits of the world and crossed the south and the north poles by hiking. The first continental summit I climbed was Kilimanjaro in Africa. The Snows of Kilimanjaro, written by Ernest Hemingway in 1936, is a novel I loved reading. At the beginning of this story, Hemingway described the Kilimanjaro as a snow-covered mountain, 19,710 feet high. But when I reached the peak in 2002, I could not see a single sign of snow. The mountain guide told me that snow on the peak was only seasonal. Later, I did research and found that the snow of Kilimanjaro will be completely gone in 20 years. More signs of climate change hit me as I carried on adventures in other parts of the world. When I was crossing the South Pole in 2005, I did not feel so cold as I had expected. I even ran with a bare chest in the ice and snow for 20 minutes. In the planet getting warmer, I certainly felt it myself. As the biggest real estate developer in China, how can we reduce our environmental footprint? With these questions, I went into the Beijing office of Greenpeace and introduced myself to the chief of China operation. That chief is a Hong Kong guy, a smart guy. Apparently, my visit took him by surprise, as normally companies would try to stay away from them. He asked me carefully, "Why did you come?" I answered, "As China's largest property developer, I know that someday you will come to see me. So I think it is better I come to see you first." Greenpeace introduced the WWF to me. Vanke formed a strategic partnership with WWF to protect the rainforest. We opened our timber supplies to WWF's audits to accredit the source of timber. In 2009, Vanke built the first top-level green project certified by the Chinese government. Since then, Vanke has built nearly half of Chinese three-star green buildings, or LEED, gold equivalent. The LEED means the American Green Buildings Standard. We recently joined WWF's Climate Server program and target a total reduction of 5 million tons of carbon emission by 2018. That means it's removing 20,000 cars from the road. That will serve 35 million gallons of water and 35,000 cubic meters of timber. We pushed for green buildings despite the higher cost, simply because this is the way of the future. As some speakers said, some of the good things for the future, not so cheap, but that's necessary. So that I said that first story. And second, that from the Copenhagen to Paris. Copenhagen Climate Change Conference in 2009 was a turning point for Chinese entrepreneurs. At the conference, Chinese government announced a target to cut carbon intensity by 45% before 2020. I knew that the project Chinese central government pronounced at that time that made some disappoint by some island countries and some famous international NGO. They think that Chinese government permit not enough. But as entrepreneurs who came from China, I don't think so. I think that's not easy as the central government of China at that time, that to permit that's not easy. And also at the conference, my first time attend that COP conference, and also a delegation. That delegation only 3 people, 2 entrepreneurs and 1 that assistant, and 3 people organized the Chinese entrepreneurs delegation. That first time, I remembered clearly everything for Chinese very stranger. We even don't know how to book a conference room in conference. So I remembered. We gave the pronunciation that that idea that we only on the working hall. But we representative of 100 entrepreneurs, Chinese entrepreneurs, gave some our vision, our new vision for the future. We will take responsibility how to protecting environment. So also that only that 3 people, I think that for me, for my company, as the sector of Chinese entrepreneur, that I think that very important at point. And since then, Vanke has worked with the Chinese government to organize the China Pavilion and host the Chinese Entrepreneurs Day at a climate change conference. And that time passed very quickly. And that's Doha, that Warsaw, and Lima, and then Paris. So that's the COP21 in Paris was a major milestone. At this conference, Vanke, I mentioned that at the 2009, that only 2 entrepreneurs took part in the conference. But at the Paris, that Vanke brought together a delegation of 90 Chinese entrepreneurs representing 5 major associations in China. This is the largest Chinese entrepreneur group even present at COP. Compared to the joint petition announced in Copenhagen involving 100 Chinese entrepreneurs, we had a petition in Paris with 1,385 entrepreneur signatures from 23 industry sectors. Next year, that COP will be held in Morocco. I expect the number of signatories to rise up to 10,000. I think that's the second story. And I went to more put on that third story, that from Masdar to the future. For average Chinese tourists, when they come to UAE, they usually interest in shopping malls. But what attracted me in UAE was the Masdar city because of my attention to environmental sustainability. The first time I visited the Masdar city was 2008, when the construction just beginning. When I got off my car, the heat wave swept into my face. When I saw a desert, some temporary shelters convert from containers. When I met the project team, they all seemed very excited about this project. I was very impressed and started to pay attention to this project. Since 2008, I came back to Masdar City almost every year and followed the development of the project closely. Later on, the project slowed down due to the impact of the global financial crisis. Public media started to lose attention. But never did I lose confidence and enthusiasm about this ambitious project. Any experiment could naturally experience difficulties, but eventually the way of the future will prevail. Masdar's vision to build the future on environmental sustainability is very much aligned with Vanke. In 2005, we started to develop research institution in Dongguan, that is a city in south of China. This institute focused on the study of sustainable construction techniques, such as energy-saving materials, renewable energy, indoor air quality control, water and waste management, prefabrication, and artificial intelligence. In 2008, when we did the overall system redesign for the R&D Center, we incorporated key concepts and models learned from Masdar City. We made a plan to turn the whole facility carbon neutral, water neutral, and waste neutral. We set up solar panels that generate 100% of power needed to support the operation of the facility. Our R&D center feeds power into the Chinese national grid and then buy the power back. We set up a rainwater collection system and wastewater treatment system that supply all the water we need to site. We even experiment with microbial waste treatment to recycle all the waste back. Most recently, we put driverless vehicles on the road in our R&D center, just like those in Masdar. Vanke's R&D center is much smaller, but we keep learning new models and ideas from Masdar. As Vanke grows, we are now making a strategic transition from a pure residential property developer into a comprehensive urban solution provider. We found ourselves constantly exposed to demands of Chinese cities for cutting-edge technology, such as microbes, new materials, artificial intelligence, etc. Recently, when I visited with Masdar Institute of Technology or NYU campus in Abu Dhabi, I was struck how strictly their research on drones, new materials, and robotic parallel with ours. There is a strong potential for student exchange and joint research programs. We can achieve so much by plunging ourselves inside of Masdar City, not just mimicking Masdar. As the Chinese government made the One Belt, One Road policy, companies in China are making effort to globalize. A great time is presented to us for Vanke, and Chinese companies collaborate with the world-class research institutions and provide world-class solutions to the future of the Chinese cities. We will bring, along with us, other high-quality companies from China, include China Merchant New Energy Group, BGI, SIAT, and more. Together, we will bring Chinese leading power innovation in the areas of cloud computing system, green buildings, water-saving irrigation, new materials, artificial intelligence, and genetic sequencing. So, about 2 months ago, I came to the Masdar with the proposal of developing a China cluster. I envisioned this cluster to bring together Vanke and other Chinese research centers specialized in sustainable and future technology. But furthermore, Vanke will bring the Chinese firm into the Masdar City. In Dubai, the Jafra Free Trade Zone attracts about 3,000, I don't remember exactly the details, the numbers, 3,000 or 4,000 international companies, including 400 Chinese companies. We realize that there is not that element that China in Masdar. So we will centralize to be pleased to work with Masdar and develop a community with education, research, and lifestyle attractive to top-level Chinese talents and science. I will help to make Masdar more visible to China. And before I finish my speech, I also want to say some my memory about the Masdar, but not Masdar, that Abu Dhabi. I mentioned not as the nation, as the city, Abu Dhabi. Last time when I visiting Abu Dhabi, I noticed a long stretch of well-protected mangrove reservoirs in the sea line of the city. The beautiful scene reminded me of Shenzhen in China. In Shenzhen, 80 of mangroves were devastated by the city and the industry, causing the loss of a valuable habitat for many coastal species, and in particular, migrating birds. In 2012, I worked with entrepreneurs in Shenzhen to create China's first public foundation for mangroves conservation. The success of Abu Dhabi in mangroves protection was very impressive, inspiring, and motivating for me, I believe also for Shenzhen and other coastal cities in China. I believe the care of the environment could bring Abu Dhabi and Shenzhen and other Chinese coastal cities closely together to create some promising solutions to the future of the mankind. Thanks.